here's what you need to understand. I like your question. How do we know, BCAP, when we've made, or anybody and everybody, how do you know when you're in a stage 2? Nothing to do with any moving averages. How do you know when you're in a stage 2?
2 higher highs and 2 higher lows.
Well done, correct. Are we in a stage 2 here?
Where?
This point here.
No.
Why not?
To make sure the big money's coming back in, I'd want to have 50% of that last pullback.
Are we in a stage 2
right
now?
There. I would say chances are pretty good.
But are we, yes or no?
Yes.
What about anybody else? Is this stage 2? Anybody? You're on. You don't know.
Not yet.
Huh? Go on, Bruce.
Not until it takes out that last high.
Well done, Bruce. Well done. Right? Correct. You are not in a stage 2 until you take out this. Why? Because this is not a confirmed higher low until we get this. Okay?
Okay.
That isn't right. So, we need 2 higher highs. Right, now. Let's imagine we go like this. We go. Okay? Right, what stage is that? Recap? What stage is that? You're the voice of everybody else that's listening and too scared to say anything. Okay? So, recap. What? I don't know what this is.
Stage 2.
Is it?
Yeah.
Bruce, what stage is this?
It's not a stage 2 yet. Looks like a.
Why is it not a stage 2?
Looks like a 2 and a 4 to me.
Why? Tell me why.
You haven't taken out that prior high yet.
You, Bruce, should be a multi-millionaire by now. You know all of this stuff that I teach. Right, listen to me. Right?
I know, you've taught me a lot, yes.
You should be super rich by now. So here's the deal. You need to take this thing out, right? For you to have a higher high B cap, the first one, we need to take out this higher low. Does that make sense? We first need to take out this. Now, we have a higher high. Do we have a higher low?
Yes.
Do we have a higher low? I'm drawing the line. Here's the lines. Okay, listen. So we go.
Oh, not till it turns back.
Right. Do we have a higher low?
No.
Why?
Hadn't turned back up yet.
Right. It must take out this. Okay. Now, BCAT. What is this thing here? This point here. This trade here. From here. What is this?
That's your transition.
Okay, but listen, hold on. Is it, or is it the potential transition? Because what happens if this thing then goes, because remember the word transition, we're saying we're transitioning into a stage 2, correct? Does that make sense? So we think it's the potential transition. So people could get in this trade and stack it, put a small risk on, but it's confirmed when it does this, and then now here is a good place to get in. Or you could do here. Even when it breaks out to 50% at the beginning of the trend, this started the stage 2. Does this make sense? But it must take out this thing first here. So if it goes down like this, now they tend to do this. There's so many different rules in here, right? But they'll say if this thing takes out all of this in one go, that is a right, and goes like that. That is a stage 2 straight away because it's just taken out 2 higher lows. Now let's go back and look at some charts. And I want to look at the ES. And it depends how you define a pullback, right? So let's just look at this on a weekly chart. And I want to go to 2000 and crashy time. Okay. Where is the higher low? Let's do one here. Right? And let's just do one there. Right, because that took that one out, that one took, then it went down here, right? So, if I draw this line here, and I draw this line here just on the weekly chart because it took out the low, took it out, closed below. Bunner, then close all below it, right? So look, what is this here? Did it close above it? BCAP? I knew you eat it.
Yes, it did.
Right, okay. So we've got, right, so took it out. So what is this?
It's your first higher low.
Well done. Let's say we're not classing that as a pullback because it's a little bit too... Let's imagine you had to say, I want to have 2 red candles minimum, right? Then we can go here, right? Or you might say, that's too shallow. Some people go, I want to have 3 candles minimum, right? So let's imagine this, and I want to have 3. So let's imagine that was a transition. It just went boom, and it just flew up. And then people go, because remember, I've given you like several ways to define a pullback. Your pullback might be, it needs to come back to the opposite side of the MOBO. It might be pulled to a moving average, etc. It might be 3 candles. I've given you loads of ways in Sunday Insiders, right? Then if that was the case, what's that?
That's your second higher high.
Right, and then it did this thing. It went like this. So somebody that's 2 high highs, 2 high lows, blah, blah, blah. The people that looked up on the time frame, they didn't do any of this messing around. You know what they did? They might have gone, let's imagine they looked on the monthly chart, BCAP, and they looked at this. And it says, oh wow, that monthly candle there. Do you know, that's 4 weeks of up movement. They might have gone 1, 2, pull back, going long here, and they'd be long. Which is exactly the time when I did over my shoulder and told everyone to go and buy it. Do you give more weight to a V bottom than the base? No, not at all. Not in the slightest. No, that's a V. I don't give any more weight to a V than a thing. They're just two different ways of getting in the same thing. Right. Come down. It's gone like this. Breaks out. Pulls back. Now, some people like to get in on this breakout. It could go in and it could come back. Some people like to load back up when it comes up to here. They go, and then they go, oh, get in the breakout. Or I'll get back when it pulls back. Possible transition. Then it pulls back. No. Stage 2. It's the same thing.